My objective is to show you how you can increase the efficiency of your support team through just efficient management of attachments in Jira Service Desk. Many of you do not think that this is possible, but I will show you the way how you can just add a bit of efficiency to your support team through just a simple tool that we develop. So my agenda includes 4 points for you. First of all, it's the problem of managing attachments in Jira Service Desk. The next point is configuration of attachment categories for efficient distribution of files across them. The next point is retention of attachments and the way to improve them. And the last point is validation of attachments in your Jira issues and support requests. So just before I start, a couple of words about the company I work at. Our company locates in Gomel in Belarus. It's somewhere in the center of Europe. I hope that you have already heard about it. So our company is an Atlassian solution partner. We are also Atlassian verified vendor on the marketplace. We have more than 15 add-ons. I hope that you have already heard about some of them, maybe you have even tried. So just to present to you the most featured add-ons of ours. So they are awesome grabs for Bitbucket, smart attachments for Jira, table filter and charts, customer case for Jira Cloud, quizzes for Confluence, handy markers for Confluence, and some others. Some of you know our company for No Email Storm for the add-ons that allows you just to skip notifications from Confluence. Just proceeding to Jira Service Desk, it's not a secret that it's very popular among support teams, and its popularity can be easily explained because it provides you first with the customizable support workflows that can be configured for specific projects. Besides this, you can also define different ticket queues for prioritizing your tickets in your Jira. And the last point, it's also a great level of configuration when you can adjust your Jira Service Desk to the real needs of your corporate and SLA terms of yours. I think that it's not a secret that any support process is always accompanied by different attachments that your customers attach to their support tickets. This way they try to help you just to better understand what kind of issues they're experiencing and just to point out your attention what's really going on. But as you know, we always rely on what our customer says, and if you rely just on what they are writing to you, on their issue explanations, it can just do a trick on your support team because it can really have a negative impact on their performance and on the rate and the speed they resolve their issues. Because even a detailed explanation does not contain usually some technical information that your customers may not be aware of. And in these cases, different images and screenshots, screencasts, and for example, application logs can tell your support team much more than just 10 paragraphs of the detailed description of the issues your customers are experiencing. But of course, when you receive a lot of attachments, another problem arises. You need some way to manage them in Jira Service Desk, and if you, for example, use Jira Core or Jira software, you know that Jira does not provide a good way to manage attachments. They are stored just like a bulk of files, and you just can change the way of displaying these, and that's all. If you even try to delete a bulk of files, you will not be able to do this. You will have to do it one by one, and you can just spend 1 minute. Speaking about time, it usually comes that efficiency of your support team is determined by their speed rate. So if they fall behind the schedule, your customers become unsatisfied with your support services, and finally this can result in losing this or that customer, which can also bring the loss of profit. So it's very necessary to keep attachments in Jira Service Desk, but in general in all Jira editions, because if you do not manage attachments in the correct way, you will get some fragmented pieces of data spread throughout your issues, which your support agents will not be located at any time. Also, while working on attachments and on support requests, customers, not customers, but service agents, they cannot gain focus on some attachment. Because when they start discussing something in the issue comments, what usually happens? They just make a reference to the first file, then someone joins the discussion, and usually in the third comment, nobody knows what they're talking about. And especially it becomes a problem when when new people join the discussion and they can understand nothing from your previous discussions. And of course, there are no automations for attachment management in Jira, so it also becomes a real problem. When you need something to do automatically, some trivial things, for example, like removal or moving files, your attached file somewhere, but you cannot do this. So, if you take a look at this picture, just for an average support agent, it will be some kind of a nightmare. Because what kinds of information captures your eyes first? I think that it's logos, icons, but not some screenshots, application logs, and that's the main problem, because some kinds of unnecessary information looks more eye-capturing for us and for your support agents than the really valuable information that will help your agents to understand what's really going on. So just to better understand what our add-on allows you to do and what benefits it can give to your support team, let's review just a generic support process. So first of all, it starts from submitting a ticket to your Jira Service Desk. For example, in our case, it's performed through a mailbox. As you can see, our customer writes some kind of a problem and attaches a list of files, including the application log and a series of screenshots. But you can also find the signature. It's my signature, but we always find a lot of customers who are using the same way. They have some icons to social networks. They have some logos, borderlines, some emoticons, just a lot of junk files that are really unnecessary for your support team. So when this ticket comes to your support desk, it is transformed into something like this. As usual, what you see? Logos, icons. No screenshots, no application logs, and that's the main problem, that there is no focus on what files your agents should start with. So, what is the solution for this? You can install our add-on. This can be done through the marketplace. You just need to write smart attachments, type enter, and you will get it, and then you can install. Once this is done, you get an additional smart attachment section within your project, and just moving the toggle to on, you will activate the add-on. Once this is done, we can proceed to configuration of attachments. This is a very simple and intuitive process, so it will not take even more than 5 times of yours, even if you are an experienced user. And here you needn't just even involve some administrators of yours, as even a simple project manager can quickly accomplish this task. So creation of categories is very simple. You just type the category name, save it. If necessary, you can edit or delete if it is no longer needed for you. So moving further, for some complex project workflows which are shared among different issue types, we have configuration that allows you to specify issue types which this or that category should be displayed in. This is done. This was done intentionally because sometimes our customers find that requests of different types, they do not need presence of this or that category. And in this case, you can just quickly regulate the visibility of this or that attachment category and just not to clutter up the interface of your issues with additional categories that are not needed just for this or that situation. For those ones who, for example, receive some private or customer sensitive information, you can also set up access restrictions. They are configured for specific users, user groups, or project roles. So your support agents can have access to some basic information such as screenshots, screencasts, application logs. But if your customer accidentally submits some invoices, orders, some payment information, something that is very private, you as a manager can just create a category with restricted access and put these files there. So in this case, your agents will not be able to view them. As you know, after excavation, when you open the issue, you will see something like this. You may say, what has changed? Nothing, because we just get additional categories, and there is no sense in doing this because we give your support agents another work just to move files to another categories. Of course, they can do this just by simple drag and drop or using a bulk operation, but I have a better solution for you, and this is called post functions. Our add-on provides a series of post functions that you can use. For example, if you take a look at this screenshot, you can see that here we use 3 post functions. Of course, you need to keep the correct rank of these post functions, because if you just make a mistake, you can just get some bit different results. So our first function looks up for attachments that contain icon or logo or favicon, and these attachments will be automatically moved to the junk files category, where no one will look at them. The other post function looks up for any video files or files containing the word screencast. So in this case, when you transition, you will see your videos in the screencast. And the last post function looks up for any images or screenshots and moves them to the related category. So when your support agent transitions the issue from to do to in progress, what he really achieves is that all attachments are moved to the related categories depending on the content or the file formats. Our post functions allows you also to use a regular expression, so if you are keen on them, you can also take advantage. You can also add, for example, a post function to move log files. I was just a little bit lazy and didn't do this. But for your procedures, you can do this. For those ones who think that Jira is not a very good collaborative tool, if comparing to Confluence, we have added comment threads. This is a way to comment on attachments, skipping just the native issue comments. So as I was previously talking about, it's a problem to keep context of the attachment in the issue comments. With our solution, you can do this. You just locate the necessary attachment, point to it, and click the add comment icon on it. Once this is done, you get the overlay over your file with the file browser, and here you get an additional sidebar where you can submit your comments or start new comment threads to discuss your suspicions, to discuss the issues that you have found on the screenshots, on the application log files, and this way you can just discuss with the team, preserving the context of this or that file without losing it, without losing the focus, and your when, for example, you escalate your issue to the next support tier, to the next support level, so the next support engineer, he will be able to easily understand what you were talking about on this or that screenshot, and so he will not come to you and ask, hey man, what you were reviewing, what you were talking about, I didn't understand anything. So they just open an attachment and they can see the whole history of your discussions and they get the context of the issue. Moving next, if you want to involve some new people into your discussions, you can just mention them in the comment and they will receive an email notification. This email notification contains some quick links, clicking which will transition this user to the related section, to the related comment thread where he or she can help you with discussions. It's very convenient, for example, when some support agents, they are just starting their career and they don't know what to do, so they can quickly mention some project manager, product manager, anybody who knows a little bit more than them. And this way, such people can join the discussion and help to move the whole support process forward. For those ones, I think that all of you have encountered situations when customers submit you a screenshot of some section or application log, and you try and you ask them to perform some troubleshooting operations on them. During performing these operations, you usually ask them to capture the actual application behavior. This can be done through screenshots or through the application logs, and you ask your customer to send this information to you. They send these files, you ask them once more, you find another troubleshooting operation, you just repeat, and finally you get 4 or 5, for example, screenshots, application logs of the same system that relate to the same ticket. Just not to keep 10 files as a group in your issues, you can take advantage of document revisions. This is done very easily. As for you, as being you as a support agent, you can just quickly upload them to the issue. If you have already received files from your customers, you can quickly convert them into the revision. You get the field, select attach file, and here you select the file from your customers, which should become a revision. So finally, it should look something like this. So you have a parent document which lists all application logs from the beginning till the end of the issue. So for example, in our situation, here we were working on a review of the problem with our Adontim city integration. In the first example, the first revision indicates just a generic log file without any problems that we see in it. So we ask our customer to enable the extended login for our packages. After this, we attach this file. We also can rename it. Our add-on allows you to do this. Then we see nothing in it. So we ask our customer to perform reindexation of data. They also provide us with this file. Our support team reviews it. If nothing is found, some of the team may try to reproduce it. If he manages to reproduce, he just attaches his version of the file here. And finally, there may be some delays from your customers when you ask them to perform some troubleshooting operations, but they don't respond for a long time. But afterwards, they provide, and you see that this issue appeared in the application log too. So finally, you attach the revision. So in this, document revisions are also very important for multi-tier support systems because if you escalate your ticket to the next support tier, it may be a real problem for the developer or for the support engineer to understand what file you are referencing to. Because if you have 5 files of the same type, they will not be able just to understand what file you are talking about. With this, you can just point that, please see the latest revision, and here is your issue, here is your error. For those ones who use Jira Service Desk for running for processing some IT service requests, so not just for handling customer requests, but for work within your company, you can apply it for granting access to some resources or just provide some license files, some instructions, and so on and so forth, some kind of artifacts that you provide, some kinds of documents, some kind of installation packages, some files that you should provide. For this situation, you can set up a validator. This it can be configured for specific categories, and for each validator, you can specify the naming pattern or regular expressions that should be matched before your agent is able to transition the issue from one status to another. So our validator checks that there is a file from some person or from some user group or from some project role that matches the established criteria. If there is nothing, it just does not allow you to perform the transition and shows you the warning. So your support agent gets a clue what should be done. So he will look through, he or she, in our case it's Angela. Angela needs to prepare some kind of quote or invoice and attach it to the ticket and then send it to the customer. And in this way, you will not make your customers unsatisfied because they do not receive some file, they become angry, they need to reopen the issue, you just start again review of these files and nothing happened at all, and your customers become not satisfied. And just at the end, when you close the issue, you may take advantage of bulk operations on attachments. As I previously said, if you want just to remove a file, you just need to do it one by one, and it's not convenient. Because when you have just 10 attachments, just trying to click and confirm the operation, it will take you about 1 minute to complete this operation. Just by using our bulk operation, you just call the action, you quickly select all the necessary files or the categories that you want, and finally you select the operation and confirm it. So it will take you just a couple of seconds and it will quickly resolve your issues. So just moving to the benefits for your support team. First of all, combining Jira Service Desk with smart attachments, you get a quick way to look up for specific attachments in your issues. You can quickly locate them in the categories, and you needn't time, your agents needn't time to browse through the whole tickets, browsing every attachment, previewing it, and trying to understand which of them you want. Then it's the structured retention of attachments. Through the document revision and categories, you can create a smart structure of your attachments, so your support agents, when they open the issue, they can quickly and instantly see the files they need for review. The other benefit is a better way to perform inspection of issues through, for example, through collaboration with your team members, which can be done through common threads. And finally, it's some automated execution of some routine procedures through post functions, validators, so they give you some kind of, they decrease the level of human factor in making an error. So you can just perform some automated operation and check whether there is file or not, or just remove files at once. So benefits for your business. Combining Jira Service Desk and smart attachments will definitely make your customers happy and satisfied. Just to understand what is a happy customer, it's a person who appreciates, who loves your project, and who is ready to share feedback on them, and who is ready to talk about them. So in this case, you will get a person who will promote, maybe not just directly, but indirectly, just recommending some colleagues, showing different ways how you can use your products. The other benefit is just decrease in the mean time to repair. So it means that your agents, they don't waste time on just trivial thing like looking for attachment. They just proceed to issue inspection, they find the resolution, and finally they address them in the nearest release or just building a custom solution for you. And the last benefit results just from the first one. It's called brand awareness and loyalty to your brand. Why is it important? Because when your customer sees that you provide efficient and timely support, they understand that you value every customer, and in this case they will try to bring you new customers. They will be loyal to your brands. Even if you make some mistakes in your support project, projects, they will not notice it. And that's the best point of it. And besides Jira Service Desk, you can try our add-on with other editions of Jira, such as Jira Core and Jira Software. We are not limited just to Jira Service Desk. For example, if you use the basic edition of Jira for performing some procurement operations or just running some document procedures, you can use our add-on and attachment categories just to distribute files depending on the status of completion, or just to sort invoices from orders and from payments. For those ones who use Jira Software, they have more capabilities. For example, when you have an issue, you can just have separate attachment categories for mockups, for diagrams, for some requirements, some design files, source files, and so on and so forth. So just a wide range of capabilities to apply our add-on. Of course, if you do not want to use Jira Service Desk, but you are handling tickets through email this issue from the host of today's event from META-INF, our add-on is also compatible with the add-on. Email this issue, and you can use both solution in junction, and of course get the similar results. Okay, thank you for your attention. It was a pleasure to present my add-on to you. If you have any questions, or maybe you have any ideas how to improve it and to tailor our add-on to your real needs and to your real support processes, I will be glad to listen to you now. If you just a little bit shy, I will be pleased to meet you near our stand and have a quick chat with you. So, any questions? No questions? Okay, so if you want, come to our stand, I will have a quick chat with you and maybe we can discuss something interesting what you have. Okay, thank you.